Good evening. I'm David Walsh, Manager of Project Management Outreach, and welcome to Rhode's Informational Town Hall. We are here to review the westbound Washington Bridge demolition project. Work has been paused since September 17th. Demolition will now resume on Tuesday, October 15th. This will be one of several town halls we will have regarding the project. Tonight, we'll be taking you through the demolition plan necessary towards the rebuilding of the westbound bridge. Early demolition work has raised concerns about construction impacts from noise, dust, and traffic. Other comments we've received have been about day versus night work. We will be addressing those impacts tonight. Rhode will also share how attendees and those who watch this recorded webinar, over the next week will be able to follow the project's progress during construction. To avoid confusion and to answer questions in an orderly fashion, attendees will be in listen mode for this virtual meeting. Questions can be typed into the Q&A portal of tonight's Zoom presentation. Rhode is also recording this town hall and will make it available on our website, shown below, washingtonbridge.com, on Tuesday, October 15th, for stakeholders who were not able to join us tonight. We also have an online platform that will allow additional questions to be posted at publicinput.com, again shown on your screen. And we will answer those questions as soon as possible. Questions from both tonight and after this meeting will be answered in writing and posted regularly on our project website over the next few weeks. All questions will be answered in writing as soon as possible after we receive them. We thank you for joining us, and let's begin. We have heard the concerns from the neighborhood over the last few weeks. These include noise, dust, traffic impacts, and overall durations for demolition. This presentation will address each of these concerns in detail. In addition to this presentation, we are looking forward to reviewing and responding to your questions submitted both today and after the meeting to answer them fully and accurately. Now I'd like to introduce Steve Sutherland.
My name is Steve Sutherland. I'm the Assistant Manager of the Project Management Division here at Rhode. I just wanted to go over our agenda for tonight. Our agenda for the night includes project scope, noise, dust and traffic impacts, demolition grouping schedule, next steps, and where and how to post questions. Again, questions can be input now during the presentation and after on our website, with all questions answered in writing as soon as possible after we receive them. The scope of this project includes the demolition of the existing Washington Bridge westbound structure, including the bridge deck, decorative concrete arches, and beams. The arches are highlighted in yellow, and then in the adjacent span to the right, you can see both types of beams in red and purple. To date, we've removed the asphalt wearing surface and most of the existing concrete barrier. In the Gano Street area, we've removed much of the concrete bridge deck, as shown in the photos on this slide, and one set of drop-in beams. We've also removed 2 entire spans of the structure at the far eastern end of the bridge. Before we review our plans for each section of the bridge being demolished, we want to address the concerns that have been voiced to date regarding noise, dust, and traffic. Regarding noise impacts, we are down to our last 2 to 3 nights of noisy overnight hammering, which are scheduled to take place next week. This work, similar to the hammering that has taken place to date, must be completed during the overnight hours when we are able to close Gano Street to all traffic without impacting traffic in the neighborhood. After completion of these last few nights, night work will continue throughout the remainder of the project, but will produce less noise, similar to typical construction activities. These activities include saw cutting and general operation of heavy equipment. The noisy hammering required for deck demolition to complete the remainder of the project will be conducted during the daytime hours between 6 a.m. and 9 p.m., as we will be able to complete that work without creating significant impacts to the traffic on the streets below the bridge. Aside from noise, dust control is an important concern during demolition. The primary and most effective means to control dust is at its source via the use of water spraying down the concrete elements as they are being demolished to prevent the dust particles from becoming airborne. This method is shown in use in the photo on this slide, taken during our demolition work performed earlier in the project. Additional methods include the use of equipment outfitted with accessories designed to control the amount of dust produced in the saw cutting and drilling equipment mentioned here on this slide. The contractor will also be using dust monitoring systems that will inform them of the levels of dust in the air. For this scope of work, impacts to the traffic are generally restricted to the local city streets that run beneath the bridge. Our overnight closures of Gano Street for overhead demolition are scheduled to resume next Tuesday night, October 15th. During these overnight hours, traffic will be detoured around this location, and this will continue nightly until work at this location is complete, approximately 2 to 3 weeks. Also beginning Tuesday night, we'll be implementing a full closure of Waterfront Drive in East Providence, which will be in effect 24/7 and remain in place for approximately 1 week. The detour will utilize the adjacent Valley Street. Signs will direct vehicles along this detour. For our bike paths in the area, aside from a few limited overnight detours during beam removal, the Gano Street bike path will be maintained open throughout the project, and there will be no impacts to the George Redmond Linear Park, which carries the East Bay bike path over the river. Any changes to these closures will be broadcast via RIDOT's travel advisories and on RIDOT's website. Overall, the entirety of the Washington Bridge westbound structure has been separated into 4 groups, as shown on this graphic, for efficiency and scheduling purposes. Group 1 at the western side of the bridge, and Group 4 at the eastern end of the bridge, where demolition is already partially complete. This work will resume starting Tuesday, October 15th. Again, there are 2 or 3 nights of hammering remaining in this area, and this will be completed before the end of next week. Overall demolition of these 2 groups will be complete in approximately 3 weeks. Groups 2 and 3 that make up the middle span of the structure will begin upon completion of groups 1 and 4. We anticipate this work starting in November and to take up to 4 months to complete. Work on these 2 groups will be performed simultaneously. And with that, I hand things over to Pam to discuss next steps and where to input questions.
Hello, I'm Pam Cotter, Administrator of Planning at RIDOT. As we said at the beginning of this presentation, we're focusing mainly on the demolition of the westbound Washington Bridge. We have heard the concerns of the neighborhood over the last several weeks, and we hope to address them all. Questions can be typed in the Q&A portal of tonight's Zoom presentation. RIDOT is also recording this town hall and will make it available on our website, washingtonbridge.com, on Tuesday, October 15th, for any stakeholders who are not able to join us tonight. We also have an online platform that will allow additional questions to be posted at publicinput.com/RIDOTWBdemo, and we will answer them as soon as possible. Questions from both tonight and after this meeting will be answered in writing and posted regularly on our project website over the next few weeks. All questions will be answered in writing as soon as possible after we receive them. You can also continue and follow the project's progress on the website and join RIDOT email alerts if you'd like. Among the things we have on our webpage, travel time info and reports, project updates, monthly reports, all press releases, inspection reports, and additional information, including FAQ and other links. Thank you so much for your time, and please use this QR code for more information about the project and to submit questions. We'll keep it up for a minute or two, but thank you and good night.